America, and welcome to Invent America, because America invents.
This episode of Invent America TV is brought to you by America's Inventor Lady and Home Talk USA. Home Talk is a proud member of the King's Broadcasting Network and has been bringing to you the best of America's home-based product innovation since 1998. This segment of Invent America TV is brought to you by the law offices of R.P. Baraska. RPB law offices have been bringing corporate-level legal expertise to the independent inventor community for more than 20 years. For all your inventing legal needs, trust rpblawoffices.com.
Welcome back, America. That's right. This is the Invent America show here on Invent America Radio. I'm the Cajun contractor, Michael King, along with my co-host, partner in crime, the inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. Rita, who's our sponsor for this hour?
Our sponsor for this hour is Wood and Wood, WeNeedGutters.com. All right, if you have got water running down the side of your house where it shouldn't be, WeNeedGutters.com is where you go to find the fix. And I bought it, I've used it. Now the water doesn't run on my head when I'm standing at the front door in the rain. So that's all cool.
And all of that information is available on the website where?
It is on invent-america.com or inventorlady.com and a host of other places. WeNeedGutters.com.
You mentioned Russell Kramer. Let's get him on the show.
All right. My first guest is Russell Kramer. He is the inventor of TrueView, and he is also one of our sponsors. Russell, thank you very, very much. I'm going to let you explain to our listeners, what is TrueView?
Okay, Rita. Thank you. TrueView is an easy, intuitive to use blind spot mirror that offers you accurate imaging. It easily sticks onto your exterior driver rear view mirror and has an angle adjustment to allow you to alter it to your particular height and size and so on.
Well, I think that, the big thing is it when there is a semi, and I know I drive a Prius, I drive a little car. And when you see the semi coming up behind you, but it always says on those mirrors, the item is further away than you expect. And then all of a sudden it's in your peripheral vision and scares the daylights out of you. Well, if you're in heavy traffic or you are on a narrow road, you can swing off and the next thing you know, you're in an accident. TrueView prevents that. And I cannot emphasize how much it prevents it, because I've got one. All right. And it made a huge difference because I could see it coming. It's exactly the size, exactly the spot. And then all of a sudden, as it pulls out of the TrueView view, it is in my peripheral vision and it's pulling up beside me. No more surprises. Holy cow. What's the life worth, right?
It's precious, Rita. Priceless.
It is. So you went ahead, and I've known you for years, all right? This is not your first invention. It's your fifth, I think? Your first one, but fifth in the lineup.
Yeah.
But how long have you been working on TrueView?
Well, the first trade show was 2019, so probably a couple of years prior, so maybe 9 years, from concepts and crude prototypes. So yeah, it's been a haul, but there's been the patent process and, really teeing up and getting the intellectual property. So now I have an issued patent on this. And, so I've gone through the ropes and, ready to roll. I made as you alluded to, the 4-inch diameter, because when I decided, hey, you said, let's make a production run. At that time, some of the know-it-alls are saying, trucks, pickup trucks and SUVs are going to rule the roost, no more sedans. So at that point, all right, 4-inch, but as it turns out, sedans are now popular. And I brought this to Advanced Auto Parts, the 4-inch, and they go, Russ, this is great. We want a 3-inch. That's for the majority of our clients. So now I've got the CAD drawings for the 3-inch. I'm all teed up, and I'm going to see if there's opportunities at the trade show. Well, both for this. This is good for box vans, fleet vehicles, that have poor visibility. So there's a great use for this. It's just the broader market is for the 3-inch because there's actually more registered sedans and smaller cars.
Right. So the 4-inch would be for the larger vehicles.
Correct.
Certainly for your pickups, semis, vans, anything like that, the larger vehicles. And then, the 3-inch is going to be for like the Prius, the sweet little Prius that I drive. And there's so many little cars out there, and the other types of sedans that are out there, because you're right. And it's not unusual that, when you do a short run and then somebody says, oh, I want this size. Holy cow. Yeah. You realize that multiple sizes might be needed, and being able to find then a licensee who can say, oh, Russell, we're going to make, 3 sizes, but they're going to pay for it. So yay, life is good, right?
Yeah. And there may be a good opportunity at the show because of somebody that you know. So
exactly.
We're teed up about that.
So we are excited to go. I know that Pronto Launch is going to be there. He's already got deals with a couple of the different inventors who are going to be there. So we are looking then to get a few more things into his hands. And so it'll be exciting to, be able to see these products have a chance to grow up and be big.
Sounds like a plan, Rita.
All right. So, this is, it's always a dance. Russell, I am sure that when you were growing up, you didn't think I'm going to grow up and be an inventor. You've had a day job that you've been working at to pay for these, habits, good, bad, or indifferent. So, how did you get into the, because you've got one that is in healthcare as far as, mouth care, teeth care. You've got another one that is using, jars from the kitchen. How did you get from, your day job to being an inventor in a variety of different industries?
It's kind of a long haul because literally I invented my first invention right after I got out of my crib, and I used my crib to make this Rube Goldberg contraption using the spring tension in the crib. So I was just had the gift, but in terms of getting it to the point where I'm commercializing and getting into the patents, that probably happened, maybe in the 1990s. My sister was in California in the field of ergonomics. And so laptops were a big thing, but they're an ergonomic disaster. So I actually came up with a mechanical housing for ergonomic laptops. And the flurry of patents came out during that time. So I got the patent, and many companies, were trying to get in on that. But the manufacturers are all commoditized in that industry, so they didn't adapt that. There's loads of patents in that area. But I still have some ideas on how to make traction with that, but another day. But all that's right. Kind of the 90s when it started.
Well, interesting because, what that tells us is, yeah, you can start in kindergarten inventing stuff, or when you're still in your crib in inventing stuff. So some folks do grow up thinking that they're going to become an inventor one day. Most of our inventors these days are more like, oh, well, that's a cool idea. Let's make this flashlight better. And so they do go after it. And I think you are an inspiration to a lot of folks out there that have been tinkering and now decide to take that big step into marketing, because the marketing monster is a lot bigger and nastier than the tinkering monster. So we are going to be right back with another inventor. And if you want to get your hands on a TrueView mirror, it is Cargo Catch, right, Russell? CargoCatch.com. All right, everybody, we will be right back. Stick with us. We've got another cool inventor coming right up.
This segment of Invent America TV is brought to you by SearchQuest Patent Search. SearchQuest provides for a comprehensive patent search that searches the entire world and not just the U.S. Patent Office. Make sure that before you spend those big bucks having a patent written, you've done your due diligence by getting a comprehensive patent search. Use SearchQuestPatents.com for all your patent search needs. They scour the world for you.
And thank you so much for being with us for this segment of Invent America. And we love doing this show because you know what? America invents. We've been doing it for centuries, and we will continue to do it, solving all the consumers' problems out there with new gadgets and new ways to get things done safely. My guest right now is Nick Norman. I'm going to have him tell you about himself. So, Nick, it is really great to have you with us today. And you've got one of those products that is like, all right, you're thinking it's going to be in this industry, and what you found out is it's in a whole bunch of different industries. So tell everybody what it is that you invented and kind of what was going on.
Hi, Rita. Thank you so much for having me. My name's Nick, and I invented Polar Protector. It is a cover for stock tanks and stock tank accessories. It's really, really simple. Invented it 2 years ago, roughly in 2023, and we needed a nice cover for our stock tank. We use it for cold plunges. We're crazy and love to sit in cold water and help with inflammation in our back and different health benefits. And first thing my wife said was, I want a cover for this stock tank. I don't want leaves getting in, debris, bugs. So I was like, sure, I'll get one off Amazon or something. And they didn't exist. So we invented it, got a couple patents, and took off immediately. We sold over almost 50,000 covers in just 2 years. It was organic growth, little to no advertising. People were searching for this, and it just didn't exist. And we were kind of marketing it towards the cold plunge community and thinking that they needed it.
Wait. Cold plunge community. Explain what that is, because I don't know that everybody knows what that is.
It's just crazy people who sit in ice water, in ice baths. It's just cold water. It helps with inflammation. The Swedish have been doing it for thousands of years. So the trend has now hit America, and people do it for all sorts of reasons. And you just basically get a stock tank at Tractor Supply, Home Depot somewhere, fill it up with water. It freezes over during the winter. You can have chillers and things attached to it, and you sit in it and torture yourself. It's terrible, but we love it. And but the thing is that stock tanks are used for livestock, for cattle, for farm animals. They've never really needed accessories in the past 100 years. So after COVID, things kind of changed, and people started using them differently. And they had problems, and when there are problems, inventors come out and try to solve those problems, and businesses will follow after that. And that's what we did. And we just started noticing that more and more people started buying these covers and accessories for stock tanks. And a huge chunk of our business was coming from farmers and ranchers. They were using it for livestock rotations, keeping the water clean and preventing it from evaporating, preventing algae growth, all sorts of different things that's a much bigger market than the cold plunge community. So we were like, okay, so let's try to expand on that. And we invented a neoprene sleeve that goes over stock tanks. It's like a beer koozie that you have, for your can of beer, but for stock tanks, keep it insulated, keep the water cold or hot, whichever you want. So it just kind of took off organically. No one's ever done this. So
explain the science a little bit more to me. You can have a bucket of water outside, and just putting something around it doesn't necessarily keep it from, turning nasty.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? What do you do that keeps it from doing that nasty thing?
So the basically, when you leave water out, it's stagnant water, algae starts to bloom. One of the first things, within about 72 hours, you'll start getting murky, just things will start growing in stagnant water. It just happens. And what a cover does, it prevents light from entering, and it keeps water cooler. So things can't grow in the water at that point. Completely kills it, keeps the water neutral, and keeps, at farms and stuff, farmers use it. They're like, we have trash that literally blows into our stock tanks, and our cows and our horses eat it by mistake and during a cattle rotation or something. And they put a cover on it to prevent that, and leaves build up into it. And the cover just kind of prevents that. We also have like a mesh insert that goes in the stock tank. So the animals can drink out of the stock tank just fine. You lift up the mesh insert, and it cleans it out in an instant. So, just lots of cool different ways it helps. It solves lots of different problems that we didn't really intend for it to solve.
All right, so polarprotector.com, for any of you guys out there that love getting into cold water as opposed to a hot tub, the polarprotector.com is where you would go and order, but it's sold in a lot more places, isn't it?
Yeah, we have. So basically, I've never had a business. I've always been an entrepreneur. I've never had a business that's grown outside of our garage, and this one did quick. And growing yourself out of business is a very real thing. So we had to really be conservative and try to pick and choose our retailers who we were kind of partnering with, because we didn't have, forklifts. We didn't have a warehouse to ship pallets and pallets of these things like people were wanting. So we were kind of the turtle method, just very, very slow, the tortoise and the hare. We're going more slowly, trying to do things well and efficiently. And so, yeah, you can on Amazon, anywhere basically online, you can find them, and retail locations.
All right. So your wife was your inspiration. What was your aha moment?
Yeah, it was really when the sales just started skyrocketing. Like I'm not joking. I was just looking at my phone. It was just instant sale. It was really just people just validating that this was a thing. It was really like, oh wow, this is a whole industry that doesn't even exist yet. We are literally creating our own category. And that was just like, inventing the cover was really one of the Maho moments. There were several, but the first main one was my wife saying, "I just want a cover for this." And I typed into Amazon stock tank cover, 0 results. That is very rare for anything like that to exist.
For sure. How did you get from polar protector to looking for a stock tank cover? Was it because that your ice water was in a
right?
container that used for stock?
We were marketing it towards the ice plunge community when we started because that's who we thought our customers were. And then we started creating products like the neoprene sleeve that protects a stock tank from freezing and cracking and having all these issues. So it kind of migrated into, protecting the stock tank from cold weather is really our main objective.
So it's, it always surprises me when you're kind of set in going out one and you find out that your biggest market is, in an industry you weren't even looking at. And I can certainly understand why water's precious these days. Water's the new oil. And so being able to protect it longer so you're not just dumping it out on the dirt, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it saves time and money. That's really the main thing, money. Farmers just use it it saves us so much time just so that our farmhand doesn't have to go out and haul water out to the stock tank in the middle of this field and refill it. That's time and that's people's money. So throwing a cover over it, farmers can lose over a gallon an hour for evaporation alone. 1 gallon per hour. That's a significant amount of water a day. So throwing this cover on it prevents that. It prevents evaporation completely. So it saves water.
That's amazing. I had no idea that it could evaporate that fast. We live in the Cherokee National Forest and keep the hot tub covered so that it stays hot. But I didn't realize that keeping it covered also protects it from a lot of other things going on.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, it prevents all. Even just protecting the stock tank in itself, just the light damaging it over years and years and years. Our sleeve protects that. UV damage happens to stock tanks over time. So yeah, lots of again, we didn't expect any of this. It just kind of fell into our laps, and we had to redo marketing. We had to kind of tailor things to more farmers and ranchers and cold plungers. So it's been a fun journey.
I can tell. And we're going to come back and we're going to talk to Nick some more about that journey and some of the hard lessons he learned and some of the big surprises that he had. But stick with us, everybody. We will be back shortly. If you know anybody out there who's got a product that they are trying to sell, we would love to have them on the radio. And, all they've got to do is reach out and call me and send an email because you know what? They're going to put that phone number on the side of my casket. I'm taking it with me. And so someone out there would love to get them on the radio. And a big thanks to King Productions because without Michael King and King Productions, there would be no Invent America or Made in America. So everybody, an inventor who's got a problem, Inventors Roundtable is our go-to where we get somebody like Nick on to answer questions and share his fun experiences, or we will get an attorney on to talk about intellectual property. So lots of options out there, lots of help, like Michael King always says. Don't make the mistake. Call for help. Stick with us, everybody. We will be right back. If you're an inventor or an inventor out there who would just like to be able to have a conversation with other inventors, join the Inventors Roundtable. It's free. The meetings are virtual, so you can be anywhere in America and talk to another inventor. And for a lot of folks out there, understanding the process, being able to ask questions, getting good service provider information is critical to the inventing process. So, got questions? Want to join? It's free. inventorsroundtable.org. Everyone, and thank you so much for being with us for this segment of Invent America, because America invents. And my guest for this segment is Nick Norman. He is now jumping in from inventor to industry expert, because anybody that grows that fast in that variety of industries certainly does qualify as an industry expert. And a lot of those inventors out there who are trying to get a product and get it to grow up can learn something from Nick. So Nick, I am sure that you had some, hard lessons over this last couple of years. What are some of those hard lessons you had?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Rita. Probably the hardest lesson is scaling efficiently. I don't think people realize how challenging, like getting the product is one task that's a huge hill to climb. Uh, but then once if and when it starts taking off, you have to learn how to be a freight forwarder. You have to learn how to do things efficiently and effectively and get this product into people's hands. It may sound, great on paper, but effectively doing that, executing that is a challenge. And that's probably been our biggest challenge by far is scaling efficiently and yeah, trying just to tackle those challenges that come up with logistics and scaling.
So, what, did you buy a warehouse and do it yourself, or did you, find a warehouse so somebody else gets the orders and ships it out for you? What'd you do?
Yeah, there's several different paths you can do, and the main one path is a warehouse, and people just take out that $1 million loan, build their own warehouse, rent out their own warehouse, and rent equipment and go from there, and then hiring staff and doing all that. That's a lot of capital up front. So we're like, let's try to see because we're still trying to navigate this industry in and of itself in this new category. And there's also a 3PL. So 3PLs are great. They'll do it. Basically, a 3PL is a third party logistics company that will say, hey, we'll take your product, bring it into us. We're going to charge you a fee for storage. We're going to charge you a fee to ship it out. We're going to charge you a fee for everything else. And it's really just a numbers game. It's very cold, calculative. Just you get product in, product out, product in, product out. How much am I making per pallet in and out per product? And then there's kind of this new era that's starting, which is what we chose to do. And that's like a kind of like a hybrid. So Amazon has their own, basically it's called AWD, where they take care of logistics also. Amazon's the logistics king. Love them or hate them, that's what it is. So you can either you make the deal with the devil, as I like to say, or do it yourself. So I just shipped out a pallet today from South Carolina to Kansas City, Missouri. It was I think it was only like $100. It was very, very cheap to ship across country. They touch the product, they have it all, and I can do it all there. And they know how to do it well. So they've kind of been our warehouse and our logistics kings. And so far it's a very pleasant experience. We've actually been really, really surprised. We also have inventory here. We have a small warehouse that we can do shipments ourselves if need be, if something were to happen, or, so I always like having those fallbacks, and control is also key. For necessary.
Some people wear that a little bit, better than others. And, you've got to have the detail to do it in order to be able to do it, be successful at it. Quick question for you, though. You've been doing this now for how long?
I've been an Amazon seller for 10 years, but with Polar.
Okay, no, how long you'd been doing since you started getting the product out there and developing your polar protection? How long have you been doing it?
2023, early 2023.
Okay, so have you ever heard of the R&D tax credit?
I've not.
All right, you can go back up to 3 years, and as you were developing and doing research on the product or doing research on new parts of the product, you can actually take a tax credit for that. Mm-hmm. And I will send you their contact information, and they will walk you through how to do that. It's not like a deduction, it's a credit. And man, when you're doing that and you're actually selling the product, it can make a huge difference for you.
Wonderful.
So if I don't have that to you by tomorrow, you send me an email and remind me, because that can make a big difference.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And they're really good. I met them at ASD Market Week 2 years ago when they started telling me about Inventors. And you don't have to be, getting an R&D tax credit on a new space machine. It's really cool because you can get it on a kitchen gadget. And
yeah, well,
right into that category.
we spent a good amount on R&D, so that's great to hear.
Yeah, you can take every part of it. So very good. I will introduce you to them via email. But you know what? Anybody out there that is teeing up a product, do you have any last minute advice for inventors?
Two things. One is fear prevents a lot of people from doing a lot of amazing things. So check fear at the door. And two is to execute. Execution is so key. Everyone has a great idea. There are so many great ideas out there, but people just talk about it, and you have to execute. A good inventor executes well, and you have to do the work and figure out how do I get it done? Where do I go? What are the costs? That's just part of it. So don't let fear control you. Just take the chance and execute. Those are my biggest pieces of advice.
Excellent. Good advice. What's next?
Yeah, we're just expanding the product line. We get emails every single day for new, different accessories for stock tanks. Just people needing different accessories for different things. So we're trying to solve the main 3 problems with stock tanks, and we kind of hit those now. And now we're just expanding the product line into a few different styles of stock tanks. Just a few different issues that arise. It's a new category we are spearheading and controlling. Excellent. Good for you. It's an honor to know you and meet you and be able to visit with you. I'm sure that we will have you on again. And the website is polarprotector.com. If you've got one of those tanks out there that you need to protect, that's where you go. Thanks everyone for joining us today. We will be back next week with more stories on getting products from mind to market. We will have new inventors and industry experts. So join us and have a wonderful week.